Gentlemen, start your engines.
Welcome to Race Talk Live with Kate Moss. Get ready for top-notch analysis of drivers, tracks, and everything racing. It all starts right now.
Of Race Talk Live. I hope you're having a beautiful 4th of July. My name is Kate Moss. This is CLNS Radio. One thing we should remember, independence comes at a price. Thank you so much to all of the men and women who have served in the military, serve now, and will serve in the future. Right now on the phone with me, got to say welcome into NASCAR Nationwide driver Alex Bowman. Hi, Alex.
How's it going?
It's going great. How's your 4th?
It's been awesome so far. Just headed to dinner. We had a pretty good day at the racetrack today. We didn't draft or anything, but solid day of practice, and I think we'll be good tomorrow night.
Yeah, I was watching you. Your crew chief was on, and he was saying that you guys got to go to the wind tunnel.
Yeah, we go to the wind tunnel with all our speedway cars. We just try to get a good baseline and kind of compare from where we started with our first speedway car this year, and try to make less drag and make the car as slick as it can be. But coming to Daytona in the middle of the summer, it's really hot and slick, so we've kind of tried to put a little bit of downforce back in the car, give it a little bit more drivability, and I really feel like it's worked out well. It's a brand new race car for us, and it performed really well all day.
Well, they said that the temperatures were actually down to about 100 degrees in the car for the drivers, which at Daytona is actually not bad. But during the race, I know it could get really up there in temperature. What do you do in the car to keep yourself cool?
Well, I have what's called a cool box. It just kind of blows cooled and like purified air into your helmet, and then probably the hottest part of the car is where your feet are. So a lot of drivers, you take like heat reflective material, and you have like little deals that go over your shoes. And then we actually today worked on doing some heat reflective stuff for the pedals, because the pedals were just getting so hot.
Right, I can't imagine. And sweating is probably, you probably sweat so much that you probably lose 10 pounds during a race. Especially places like Daytona, because it's warm down there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of the hottest weekends of the year for us, and especially super speedway racing. Trying to get the drag out of the car, you tape up everything that lets air into the car, and so the driver doesn't get very much air. It's one of those places where you just kind of have to live with it, because it's a sacrifice you got to make to go fast.
Sure. And you're a very young driver. You're 20 years old. Man, I remember those days a little while ago for me. But last year, 2012, you were the ARCA Rookie of the Year, and you had the most wins, the most laps led last year. When did you actually start racing?
I started racing when I was 7 years old. My dad was just a race fan, and started racing quarter midgets, which are kind of like go-karts, and from there, just moved up through the sprint car and midget world, and started stock car racing 3 years ago.
Do you like stock car the best out of everything you've raced?
I'm a little biased. I like the sprint car and midget stuff the best, just based on a fun level. Those cars are an absolute blast to drive, but a lot of danger kind of comes along with that. It's really, really hard to make a living in sprint car and midget racing, and it's just one of those deals where I got hurt really bad in 2010, and the right way to go was just stock car racing, and got a good opportunity to go run the Can-Am Pro Series East 2 years ago, and took it, and been doing the stock car thing ever since that.
Well, you said you got hurt in 2010. What happened?
I flipped a dirt midget really hard in February of 2010, and broke both my collarbones and all my ribs on the right side, and spent 7 days in ICU, so it was 7 days to think long and hard about going stock car racing instead of open wheel racing.
Oh, I'm sure that was an eye-opener. We talk about safety a lot on the show, especially since, Jason Leffler's unfortunate passing. Last night I had J.J. Ailey on the show. We were talking about safety and racing. What's your opinion as a driver on how NASCAR is doing in terms of safety at the racetrack?
I think NASCAR above all series and any other type of racing in the world is the best. They've done an awesome job with the new cars they've developed and just the continuing development for safety that they keep going after. I mean, they're constantly working on stuff in the R&D center, and every year, every couple of months, they come out with something new that's better and safer for the drivers. So they do a better job than any series that I know of or any sanctioning body. They're awesome when it comes to that.
Right. I think NASCAR does an amazing job, too. But, you know, the thing is you can't prevent accidents from happening. And it's just when they do happen, you worry about the driver in the car. I know a lot of people like to see wrecks, but, you know, there's somebody behind that wheel. And you know, I've seen drivers, and you have as well, they walk away from, you know, wrecks that look awful, and they just get right out of the car. Talking about your career in Nationwide racing, how did you actually get involved in Nationwide?
Well, last year we were running the ARCA series and just kind of made a decision that it'd make more sense to go to the Nationwide series than the Truck series, and pursued that. Ran 4 Nationwide races last year, 2 of which were with the team I'm with now, RAB Racing, and had some success right off the gate. My second ever Nationwide race last year at Kentucky, we were running top 5 and had a shot at winning it and had a parts failure. So that kind of motivated me to want to run for RAB Racing this year. And Robbie Benton and Chris Rice have built an awesome team over there. I think they're probably one of the most underrated teams in the garage. All the guys work really hard and had a lot of fun this year. We're continually getting better and kind of had our growing pains a little bit, but I feel like we're starting to turn it around. We had a solid run last week, and hopefully be good here tomorrow night.
Yeah, I was watching you practicing before at Daytona, and you were fast. I mean, you had some really good laps. And, you know, like I said, your crew chief was on. He's looking forward to it. And, you know, I wish you luck tomorrow. I think you're going to do great, though, because, like you said, I think you're more consistent now. You know, you're up there, and that's awesome. It really is. On the show in the past, we've talked about Sprint Cup drivers driving in the Nationwide Series, too. Some people think that it's not a good thing. Some people think it's a good thing. How, as a driver in the Nationwide Series, do you feel racing with Cup drivers?
I absolutely love it because I feel like to make myself a better race car driver, I have to race against better race car drivers. So racing against Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski and Matt Kenseth when he comes and runs is awesome for me. I feel like I can learn a lot from those guys. And even really, you look at the Nationwide Series regulars now, and it's really just a bunch of Cup drivers that aren't running the Cup Series anymore with Elliott Sadler, Regan Smith, Brian Vickers, people like that. I mean, the Nationwide Series is really tough as it is, so racing with Kyle Busch and all that makes it tougher, but I love it because I feel like I can learn from them and make myself better.
Right. It's like a challenge. It's kind of like learning as you're doing, which is the way, you know, a lot of drivers do learn. What tracks do you like, if you had to name the tracks you like, and then what track is one that you really you're not a fan of, you wish you didn't even have to go?
I feel like Kentucky and Iowa are probably my 2 favorite places. I like the super speedway thing, except for the last lap. Most of the time, I feel like the last lap of super speedway racing kind of gets pretty crazy. But
oh yeah,
place I am not looking forward to would probably be Loudon, New Hampshire. I struggle at that place. It's not one of my favorite racetracks. I love going up there. It's just the racetrack itself I kind of struggle with, but I think we'll be better there this year. And I mean, everywhere we go has its own unique characteristic, but Loudon's one of those places that's just kind of tough to get a hold of sometimes.
Right. Well, with a new team, a new organization, you know, I think that things could be different this year for you. So hopefully it'll work out in your favor. You guys are at Daytona this weekend, obviously. What do you think about racing at Daytona? You said you liked super speedways. How about restrictor plates?
Yeah, Daytona is a lot of fun. It's kind of its own deal. Daytona and Talladega, they're a lot of fun. We ran 3rd here in the spring, so hopefully we'll be up there again. I feel like the 2-car tandem is still going to be be the way to go. It's going to be hot and slick, so there's probably going to be some more wrecks than there were, but hopefully we'll stay up front there at the end.
Do you have any other predictions for this weekend at Daytona, even in the Cup side?
I haven't really paid much attention to who's doing what on the Cup side this weekend, but on the Nationwide side, I'll go ahead and predict that you'll see the 77 and the 99 up front leading laps throughout the day.
All right. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, you are in the 99. Toyota Care is your sponsor this weekend?
Yeah, we have Toyota Care on board this weekend, which is a really cool program Toyota does for Toyota owners. So I'm excited about it. It's the first time they've been on the car this year, and it's a great thing to have on the car.
Well, the Subway Firecracker 250 is tomorrow night at 7:30. Qualifying is at 2:05 tomorrow afternoon. Alex, I want to thank you so much for calling in. You are the second. It's a newer show, and you're the second driver to call in. So you'll always have a place in my heart. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, Alex. Hopefully we'll talk to you again in the future.
Sounds good.